in thinking about meaning and in thinking about how we can have a meaningful life in spite of our circumstances, we're actually walking down a path that's been well trodden by some well-known thinkers around this idea of meaning um, in the field of sort of existentialism. So some of the work on meaning, both within acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, in sort of the field of meaning-centered interventions, is informed by people like Viktor Frankl. And Viktor Frankl sort of continued to work out his thoughts on meaning while in a Nazi concentration camp. And for Frankl and for people who believe in his approach to helping, there is meaning that can be found in suffering. It's one of the places that meaning is found. There is meaning in the freedom to choose your perspective in spite of your circumstances. And so other areas that Frankl thought meaning could be found were relationships. And I think this is so common, is that ultimately, for so many people, their suffering is related to relationships. Their struggles are related to the relationships not being where they want them to be. That's so common for individuals that I connect with, whether their presenting issue is something like anxiety or depression or something going on in their life, unhappiness. It's so often connected to relationships. So our relationships are certainly somewhere where we can find meaning and work and meaningful work and doing something that we feel is connected to our values. And so in thinking about living a meaningful life of connecting with our values, it can come down to this change in perspective, this pivot in perspective towards recognizing that we do have the freedom to choose our perspective. We don't choose all our thoughts. We don't choose our emotions. We don't choose how we're feeling. But through carefully paying attention to it, we can choose our perspective on our thoughts, our perspective towards our emotions and our feelings.